I like talking and posting about Bakugan, whether it be Gen 1, Gen 2, the action card game, or the TCG, but what I haven't spoken on much is the show. So today we're going to talk about / review my favorite episode of Bakugan Battle Brawlers. One of my favorite parts of the show are the laid-back slice-of-life moments where the Doom card and the Doom Dimension get to rest for an episode, where our favorite Bakugan aren't at stake, safe with their companions. A part of me believed it helped my imagination in my own stories as a kid, getting to see the wider scope of the world with Bakugan in it. And that's where our episode comes in today.
The Bakugan Battle Brawlers in the secret of success.
But first, we need some background. With the gang fully assembled, plenty of brawls with Masquerade and his minions, fake-outs to the Doom Dimension, Shun being wishy-washy, Drago evolving, and Dan beating up a kid with some form of a terminal illness, the gang return home to relax after a grueling time trying to beat Masquerade in the race to become the ultimate Bakugan. We open this episode at the end of a brawl as the Darkest Warriors takes down an Aqua's Juggernaut. The field closes to reveal the Bakugan falling to the ground as our loser of the brawl named Christopher exclaims that he hates losing to his bully. He's then met with the information that his bully is expecting him back tomorrow for the same results as he juggles his Bakugan. The B and C plot don't matter too much here, so we won't be discussing them in this video. We cut to Alice, who is on a grocery run, noticing Christopher on the riverside, only to recognize at the last second that he's about to give up as well as abandon his Bakugan. She begins to run downhill at the last second, asking him to stop, while she ironically cannot stop, and ends up knocking Christopher into the river. Jumping again to Alice magically manifesting a towel and hairbrush, we get Christopher letting her know about his bully, now named Travis, who beats him relentlessly in Bakugan and has ruined his confidence and love for the game, making him vow to never play again. Alice, knowing that this isn't true, offers to coach Christopher and help him improve his skills as a brawler in order to beat Travis. Christopher is shocked, but accepts the offer in order to receive some training to become a better brawler. Alice, inspecting Christopher's Bakugan and cards, notes that he has a lot of variety in his abilities, allowing him to get through any battle, and gives him some tips to use in his next brawl. I feel like I took this scene to heart because I've helped some of my friends back in Gen 2's TCG build decks and create strategies that I've even had a hard time beating, and it's always nice to share tactics and combos because that's what makes the game fun. And just as a quick aside, I really love the CAD models that they use in the series. They always look so good to me and helped as a great toy advertisement for the real-life Bakugan that you would find at the store. Following that, Christopher asks Alice to help him as he doesn't know what the right moves to make are. Alice reassures him by telling him to play with confidence to be the best. Christopher's hesitation persists, but he says he'll try. I know we said we wouldn't, but let's take a look at the B plot and see what's going on. Okay. We move to Travis and Christopher's next encounter as Alice introduces herself as a coach, looking like she's showing up as a parent to a parent-teacher conference to talk about how Christopher's been this semester. With Travis's taunts out of the way, it's time to brawl, and with a couple of kind words from Alice, the field opens. Time slows, the scenery changes, and Alice is nowhere to be seen. Back on Earth, we see Alice taking note of the world frozen in time around her. And not to throw too much logic into the show, but why even do this? It's been shown that if you're making contact with somebody when they open the field, you tag along. Obviously, it's a hint to Alice's secret identity. They could have handled it differently. Is she always been unfrozen during brawls? Does Masquerade normally take over when this happens, except now because plot? It's been 18 years since this episode aired and I'm still lost. Alice is more confused than she should be. You're in the exact same spot when the field opened. I understand panicking over time being frozen, but how could you say that you don't know where you are? Anyway, Alice, Christopher, and Travis somehow end up on a three-way Bluetooth cross-dimensional phone call, and the signal is so poor that it all gives them the Masquerade voice filter. With Christopher staring down Warriors, he starts to panic until he can finally hear Alice through the ether. They begin to coordinate on strategy, having him toss in Limulus, only to be met by Mantris. Alice directs him, and with an ability card, Limulus is able to move to another gate card, and with some extra coaching, our king, the absolute unit, Juggernaut, hits the field. I have a great love for Juggernaut alongside Reaper and Skyrus, as they were the only surviving Bakugan from my original collection as a kid. Travis notices Christopher's improvements as he sends out his Fear Ripper to take on Limulus. This is one of the only Bakugan in my collection I specifically ordered in Darkus and Ventus. It just looks so good in its simplicity as one of the first wave of Bakugan to come out. As Travis activates his ability card, Christopher opens his gate card. Travis fell for his bait as Fear Ripper loses the brawl. Alice, making things no less stressful, reminds Christopher of his double battle ability card. But before Christopher can make this move, Alice finds that time is beginning to move forward again. She also states that this has never happened before, which sounds like she's done this more than once. So was she confused earlier? This weird hint of her being a masquerade is so hard to understand that I understand why I couldn't take the hint as a child. Anyway, Christopher makes his play, having Robotallion and Limulus take on Mantris, but Travis is ready with an ability, moving Limulus to Warrius's gate card, letting Travis take 2 easy wins. Juggernaut is the lone Bakugan as Mantris comes back for more. With his last vote of confidence from Alex, Christopher has the courage necessary and calls out to Juggernaut and actually hears him respond. This is the moment that stuck with me as a kid, and I realized that any Bakugan could be my talking Bakugan partner. If I loved and believed enough, anything could be, and that hope is what connected me to so much more. Juggernaut informs Christopher that Bakugan feed off the emotions of their human masters. His words, not mine. And with the Depth Tornado and the Revival Gate card open, Juggernaut takes down Mantris and his defeated Bakugan are restored. With his newfound friend at his side, Christopher knows he can win as the battle continues off-screen, only to cut to Travis being shocked that he even lost as a gleeful Alice rejoices. Christopher makes a smart comment, and Alice just ruthlessly destroyed this kid by telling him he's a sore loser who needed to get good so he wouldn't throw his Bakugan into the river. What shocked me is the moment that follows as Travis admits that he lost fair and square and is eager for a rematch with Christopher. With Christopher half joking and half accepting Travis's challenge, it looks like they'll be equals and hopefully friends soon enough. And that's the end of The Secret to Success. This episode really meant a lot to me growing up. We saw the importance of confidence, that any Bakugan can be a talking Bakugan, a friendship formed from a previously antagonistic relationship, and to top it all off, no Bakugan were sent to the Doom Dimension. It was really nice to take a break from all the stress and all the action that we were having to endure, especially after the Preyas fake out to the Doom Dimension we all had to suffer from. I wish the show would have had more low-stakes brawls or a tournament arc that could have related to powering up the main character's Bakugan. Having every other brawler carry a Doom card felt a bit unnecessary to me, but I could see how that if it's not life or death, the kids wouldn't be as hooked or pay attention as much. So I digress. With only 52 episodes to go through the whole series, I can see how they didn't focus too heavily on interpersonal relationships and the evolution of the characters. But it would have been nice to be able to see them kind of grow and evolve with their Bakugan, instead of just kind of holding on to these slight esoteric kind of tropes about their personalities that we all just kind of glommed onto. But those are the last of my thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think. What is your favorite episode of Bakugan? Is your favorite episode from Battle Brawlers, or is it a new Vestroya episode, a Gundalian Invaders episode, or Lord Forbid a Mectanium Surge episode? Leave a comment. Let me know. Tell me why it's your favorite episode. It's always great to get some comments and some dialogue generated. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.